Meanwhile, the Ka-Kho-Vka dam explosion has resulted in floods and widespread destruction, triggering a humanitarian crisis in the middle of a war zone. Now it has unleashed a new threat. Stray rogue landmines which were planted along the river bank have been washed away. Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky said that the aid groups need to take immediate action. He further said that the residents in the areas of southern Ukraine occupied by Russian troops were without water, food or medical help. Listen in.
Each life lost there is a verdict to the existing international architecture and the international organizations that have lost the ability to save lives. If an international organization is not present in the zone of this catastrophe, it means it does not exist at all. It is incapable.
Meanwhile, Turkish President Erdogan, in his call with Zelensky, proposed the setting up of an international committee to probe the dam's destruction. Erdogan said, and I'm quoting here, a commission could be established with the participation of experts from the warring parties, the United Nations and the international community, including Turkey, for a detailed investigation into the explosion at the Ka-Kho-Vka dam. Now, the Russian President Vladimir Putin reacted to the dam explosion for the first time and called it a barbaric act, whereas Zelensky termed the dam being ripped apart as an environmental bomb of mass destruction. The World Bank said that it will support Ukraine by conducting a rapid assessment of the damages. The managing director for World Bank operations tweeted that the dam explosion will have many very serious consequences for the essential service delivery and the broader environment at large. The explosion has led to an unprecedented crisis in an already war-torn region. Diseases and toxic chemicals are also causes for concern as 40,000 people face the wrath of the devastating floods. Here's more information in our next report.
The flood levels from the destruction of the Ka-Kho-Vka dam in Ukraine has brought fresh heartbreak in what is still an active war zone. It's now threatening a new wave of homelessness, disease, toxic chemical contamination, and even warnings of floating landmines in this ecological disaster. This is the city of Kherson, which was once occupied by Russian forces before Ukraine's military retook it. It's where Reuters camera crew found this resident, who's saying her grandmother is trapped on the first floor of a building with her cats and dogs. She was brought there yesterday thinking it would be safer for her. Alas, it was not. Elsewhere in the city is Irina, an animal rescue volunteer. She says her group has already recovered up to 30 dogs. They're trying to save whatever animals they can. But first, they need to wait for a boat so they can go out and save more. Russian state media are reporting that although the water levels may have peaked, the floods are expected to remain for up to 10 days. The long-term damage is another matter. Ukraine's government says the destruction of the dam, which it blames on Russia, is threatening to leave hundreds of thousands of residents without access to drinking water. It also says it will turn what was once farmland into swamps and turn other areas into desert. Russia blames Ukraine for the disaster and has imposed a state of emergency in the areas that it controls, such as this town, Ka-Kho-Vka, where the destroyed dam is. Resident Valery Melnik's home is flooded, but he says he won't leave. He wants to stay, he says, because the war can't go on forever.